Welcome back. You're watching Overdrive. Last week on the show, we brought you all the action from the newly christened JK Racing Asia Series from Malaysia. But closer home, JK Tyres has been associated with the National Road Racing Championships, and Showini brings you all the action from round 1 in Coimbatore.
For all you people who have been bitten by the motorsports bug, this is the place where you can meet like-minded souls. I'm here at the Curry Motor Speedway in Coimbatore to bring you all the action from round 1 of the 2011 JK Tyre National Racing Championship. They say it's the most economical racing series in the world, and yet on par with international standards. The 14th edition of the National Championships has 90 drivers from across the country, racing in 4 different classes with rounds at both Coimbatore and Chennai. Let's go racing, shall we? The Formula LGB Swift is a one-make racing series. Now you could be a complete novice, or you could have had some additional karting experience. But the knowledge that you will gain out of this category is just simply superb. Now the cars that these drivers are racing is a tubular space frame chassis with a 1300cc Suzuki engine. It produces 88 PS of power and it can propel the car to top out at 160 km per hour. You just have to check them out in action. After the roll-on class was discontinued this year, the Swifts are the only open-wheel races in the championship. As a result, this class has seen tremendous growth from last year with 22 entries. Builder LG Sports put in a lot of effort to ensure consistent and equalized cars, and also supplying competition components free to keep costs low. In the weekend's 2 races, Chennai-based R. Deepak of Mars Racing dominated the class, followed home in race 1 by Karthik Krishna and Prashant of TVS Girling. While in race 2, the other podium places went to Sandeep Kumar of TVS Girling and Mohit of Wallace Sporting. The Indian Junior Touring Cars category is a starting point for most Indian young racers. Now this is a category that was started off 2 years back to attract the attention of young Indian racers, and boy has it worked. Now these cars are allowed minor suspension and engine modifications, and this is a category compared to the other races over the weekend, which is a little pocket-friendly race to start in. The IGTC is the most economical class in the championship, allowing drivers to race a full season for around just 3.5 lakh rupees. All this including the cost of car, service, fuel, practice and testing. And the racing is just as intense. Last year's champion Bala Vijay of Motor Rev India won both races after a fierce wheel-to-wheel battle with Diljit TS.
Sheer luck and the whole effort is put by the team. I just drove the car. In fact, I qualified only second, and that's not my place. Still, end of the day, the first round is not the only round to decide the champion. So I'm game for it.
Saloon car category is one of the popular categories over the racing weekends, with the racing veterans going flat out. Now the cars that these guys are using have a lot more modifications than the IJTC category. And where the stock cars would make 85 PS of power, these cars make 120 PS of power. As you can see, there's crazy mayhem going on behind me. You should go and check it out. Track racing in India doesn't get more intense or action-packed than the Super Saloons. A 23-car field of veteran racers was led by the returning team owner, tuner, driver Radha Selvaraj, who won both races for his team, pushed all the way by Raj Virudhan.
Actually, after 1 year, I'm doing the race because last year I've been trying a person called Silas Bulicity. That fellow won the championship last year. Now he is in Germany driving Volkswagen Scirocco Cup. So I took advantage of the situation now because Silas is not here. I took part in the racing. And it's a beautiful and close race.
The final category creating ripples over the race weekend was the Volkswagen Polo R Cup. The car was mechanically unchanged from last year, with the addition of new graphics, racy bonnet scoops, sporty OMP steering and a new electronic drinking system that allows the drivers to stay hydrated in the heat of battle.
Last year, Polo Cup successfully made its way into the Indian motorsports, and this year, the popularity of this category hasn't diminished. Out of the 21 guys who have lined up on the grid right now, 16 of them are here for their first real experience of the Polo R Cup. They are very competitive, they are raring to go, and I think we should go and take a look.
After qualifying on pole in wet conditions, Vishnu Prasad was quick to pull away from the grid and into the lead. Meanwhile, series rookie Mihir Dharkar also managed a brilliant start from his third place on grid to slot into second on the first lap. Starting from 5th position, another Polo R Cup first-timer Saif Mir held his third position after fighting off the pressure from Rahil Nurani throughout the race.
The first 10 laps was pretty difficult, as Mir was right behind me for the first 10 laps. And then after that, I started pulling away because I'm a little more consistent than he was. My whole 15 laps was within like 7/10 of a second. And so that's the only reason I pulled away.
I'm used to drag racing, so I think I was the only driver who positioned my car like on an angle because I knew I would get a good start and I didn't want to bump the guy ahead. I was on pace with Vishnu for I think about 12 laps. And I'm not used to these cars, whereas Vishnu has driven the same cars the whole season last year. So it was for me a little bit of a problem, to keep up with pace.
In fact, Mihir kept pace in race 2 as well, finishing second to the runaway Vishnu Prasad, while Alisha Abdullah finally had reason to smile, taking her first podium finish in third. And so after 2 days of hard racing, it was time for the exhausted winners to collect their spoils. But already thoughts were moving to round 2, again in Coimbatore on the 16th of July, where the racing, if anything, should be even more intense.